up, guys? Welcome to Pete's Basement Extras. We're going to talk about Star Wars The Force Awakens, Episode 7. Let me tell you right now.
Spoilers.
This entire segment will be spoiler-ridden.
So if you don't want to hear anything,
get the fuck
turn
out.
back now.
Yeah. Stop watching. You
Go.
have been fucking warned. We are going to talk about everything that happened in this movie. So if you haven't seen it yet, pause this, go out, see the movie, even if you have to sit in the front row with your neck like this. Go see the movie, and then come back
I thought that's Ramon's job.
and hit the play. Well,
Ramon's not here.
True, but I'm in the seat, so shouldn't I
You
be
have
flipping?
to stop that. That's like the third
It's been
time.
that the two of you were born on the
It's
same
really
date.
creepy.
It's been, I know.
It's getting worse. It's all downhill for you from here.
I know, it's bad.
I keep having to tell you. Pete and I are like fucking Jedi linked. Some shit.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So, guys, like I said, spoilers. Spoilers.
Spoilers!
Stop watching if you haven't seen it. Okay? This is your last warning. You've seen it, right?
I think they got it.
You think so?
I
'Cause
think so.
Considering
I mean,
our
it's the
personal
internet we're
viewership
talking
has
about.
been
At this
cut in
point,
half.
if you keep watching,
I think
that's
I-
on
It's
you.
on you. It's your fault.
I think you cut the cheese already.
I cut the cheese.
Yes.
That's why I'm in this outfit.
I know.
I'm
Alright.
dressed like
But
a samurai.
I think we can.
I have
think
my
we're good.
karate
We
outfit
can-
on.
We got this. We got this.
Okay.
Okay, so can we fucking Han died! Han got killed by his son!
Which was very anticlimactic in my opinion. Oh fucking Christ! I'm sorry.
Okay, can I just say
Yeah,
that
it was
if
anticlimactic.
you go out on one of
However-
those walkways, you are going to die.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
No,
Hold on. No, wait, wait.
wait. You have one of the biggest characters in all of science fiction film ever made, and he just fucking dies. Like, he stabs and he's like, oh, it
And then he falls off.
And then all of a sudden it's like, Leia sits down, it's like, oh, sad. And then
there's
all of a sudden,
no reaction.
there's no reaction. No, like,
Chewbacca has no... Fucking
wait,
Rey has
wait,
a bigger
wait,
reaction
yes,
than
right,
Chewbacca
right.
does.
And then Vader, like, if you think about it, Vader, when he dies, we burn his body, right? What the
We didn't even
bloody-
have a body for Han.
I know, but there's nothing.
There's no memorial.
There's nothing.
At the end of fucking A New Hope, we get a whole thing of, hey, look, we blew up the Death Star. Here's an award ceremony.
I agree it was
There
unceremonious.
was no
Yeah.
ceremony
Yes.
for somebody who was a general in the original trilogy. There should have been something, some reaction.
Some sort of like celebration of his life
of his
and
life.
everything. Okay.
Something, a funeral, something.
Agreed.
Okay, I agree with
Agreed.
that, actually.
Agreed.
And I agree, I thought Chewbacca should have been the one to comfort Leia at the end of...
Yes.
Instead of Rey.
Instead of Rey,
Yes.
Makes
yeah.
no sense because they never met before.
No.
Right.
From if you go,
I mean, at that point, you're kind of led to understand that Rey knows who Leia is, and Leia knows
that
who
doesn't make
Rey
any
is,
sense
but it
why-
still
yeah.
doesn't fucking matter. Even like at that point, and I think we can all agree that Leia is probably Rey's aunt.
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
no, I agree.
And she's like, okay, your husband's dead. Sorry, my
but-
uncle got killed by my fucking psychotic cousin. Your kid. I'm sorry, but I think it should have been Chewbacca who was like,
Yeah.
like who was really just like totally broken up about it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I don't like, and the other thing, like that one of the huge things that bothered me is that one, there's very little character arc in any of the characters.
Finn is basically a straight line.
Can I?
Wait, wait,
okay,
wait,
I
wait,
hated
wait.
him.
Okay,
I
wait,
really
wait,
did.
wait.
Yeah.
And then
But I want to bring one thing back, really quick, to the whole death of Han Solo thing.
Okay.
The fucking architect of, we'll just call it a Death Star, of this new Death Star should be fired because you should never build a walkway like that without handrails.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked up.
Yep.
Like that's almost
There's the
asking
art-
for
the
people
art
to
director's
sneeze
job.
and lose
Yeah.
their balance and fall.
But
I
that's
don't
the
know,
art
but, like-
director's job, not doing his job.
But wait, okay, first of all,
Handrails on, like banisters on the fucking really thin walkway over the giant pit of molten death. Just a thought.
You know, I'm not trying to be mean, but I actually thought, forgive me, but I thought Kylo Ren was a whiny little brat.
But I think that's
the
the
point.
point of him,
That's
though.
the point.
Okay,
That
but
is his
wait,
point.
wait. derivative, and this is what I'm getting to next. Who does that remind us of? Anakin fucking Skywalker.
Anakin, yes,
from
it
the
does.
prequels. Wait. Continue to be
That's
derivative.
on purpose, though, I think.
Wait. Continue to be derivative. You go back to
But
Bill,
make a new character.
Wait. Bill Barkley, I think, was commenting earlier. It really is a rehash of New Hope. Yes, you're completely right. The opening sequence, you have Kylo Ren coming off the ship with a bunch of stormtroopers, exactly like A New Hope. You have a main person of the Rebel Alliance being captured, right? That person is putting information in a droid, and they need to go find their master. I mean, really, seriously, you can't fucking come up with something new.
Here's my thing. First of all, New Hope worked. It worked
Why
for all of
rehash
it. Wait
it?
a minute.
Why rehash it?
Because
Why?
it worked. And
No,
the last
that's
time we
bullshit.
tried something new,
No.
we got the prequels and those blue goats.
Well, okay, first of all, that's
Lucas
basically
isn't directing.
No, first
Don't
of all,
fuck with what works. It
No.
worked. Let's just change
But that's
characters.
no.
Give us something
no,
interesting.
because then
new
what the,
characters.
wait,
it's the same thing.
Wait. Well, then what the point is the fuck of storytelling?
Because it's.
What is the point of
We're
storytelling?
old now, and I don't
No.
want new things. I hate new things.
What is the point of storytelling?
I can't remember the last time I liked a new musical song. Who the fuck is Adele, and what the fuck is she doing on the other side of the road? I don't know, and I don't care.
You like?
I want to hear Metallica's fucking Enter Sandman for the 977,000th time.
But you just admitted you liked what's her name from Frozen because you think she's hot.
I think she's hot. I don't give a fuck about her song, though.
But you still think she's hot.
Yeah, but that's a
But she's new.
That's new women. Who cares? But new women is a different ballgame. New tits is always interesting. New tits is always gonna be interesting. It's a totally different fucking spectrum.
I can't believe we're talking about a cartoon.
Now, let me. I want to go
not just
back
that,
to.
we're
We're not
talking
even
about
talking
cartoon
about
tits.
real tits. We're
No,
talking
There
about
are so
Cartoon
many
tits.
cosplayers that cosplay Elsa from Frozen.
Yeah, to that
it's
point,
wonderful.
you can't argue with that.
It's so good.
To that point, you can't
Anna
argue
Faith
with that.
is just like one of the most beautiful girls I've ever seen. She's so wonderful. Just look her up on Instagram, guys. But I really want to go back to the Kylo Ren thing. You're absolutely right. He is a brat. He's a spoiled fucking brat.
And when he took his helmet off.
That's the okay. I don't know the actor. He's a doofy looking kid.
According to Alyssa, he is in the
He's in Girls.
HBO show Girls.
Girls.
Okay, and he's in something
And
else
I was
too.
like,
But he looks like a hipster kid.
Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
totally.
The fact that he idolizes Darth Vader so much, but he idolizes Darth Vader, who had
refers to him
explicit
as grandfather.
control over
His
the
emotions.
Force and his emotions.
Right.
You're right. Anakin was a child. He was absolutely out of control, and Kylo Ren takes that to an exponential level where he is absolutely out of control. He has
Right.
no control. He's a
And
slave
you
to
see
his
that when he's pulling
Which-
his lightsaber
okay.
out and he's hacking shit up when
when he gets pissed off, he's throwing a
Right.
tantrum. I
Which-
think that's fantastic.
No, it's derivative. It's too derivative. It's literally like lather, rinse, repeat. It's too derivative in the sense that you would think logic would dictate, and if anybody's read the books, right, logic would dictate that we would make mistakes, but we wouldn't make exactly the same fucking mistakes.
It's
that
not
we
like
made last
anybody's
time.
around to
Let me
tell
add
him
something
not
to
to
that.
make those mistakes.
Hold on. Let me add something to that. Going with the making the same mistake over and over again. A New Hope, we build the Death Star, it gets blown up. Return of the Jedi, we build another Death Star, it gets blown up. Force Awakens, we build another Death Star, so to speak, and it gets blown up again. If they make another Death Star, I'm tapping out, man. Like, seriously, it's just
I was
lazy
very
ass
excited to see a
writing.
new Death Star. I was really hoping that they only blew up the weapon and that the
Right.
planet stayed.
Right.
I
Or
admit I
immobilize
was.
it.
Yeah.
Immobilize it.
I admit
Yeah.
that.
Okay,
Shut
but,
it down.
Wait, but
Yeah.
but going back to what I was saying earlier, this film has no wonder and no heart. Going back,
disagree.
wait. You have entire civilizations blown to smithereens. You
And you
have the
don't care.
entire republic blown. You have the entire Senate blown up at one point, right? We see them on the planet. We're like, right? They're freaking out. It gets blown up. What? Nothing is addressed about that after that. It's just, oh, well, okay, the Senate's gone. Entire civilizations are gone.
Well, I mean, in retrospect, I mean, the
There's
Senate
no
beforehand was
ceremony.
completely
I
useless
think at that
anyway.
point you're just too. I was too fascinated by they built a bigger Death Star. That was where I was at that. I didn't give a fuck about all those people screaming in terror.
Well,
I was like, whoa, it's like a fucking Death Star with like 5 different fucking cannons and shit, bro.
See,
For me,
I was cool with that.
for me, the
when you looked
focus.
at it, didn't you think Mogo?
No.
No, you didn't think
I really
Mogo?
didn't. No, I'm sorry.
Okay, I did.
But I see where you're going with it now.
Yeah.
Like, because of the lines and everything.
And the circle
and
in
the
the
whole
middle.
circle in the middle. No,
Yeah.
I get it.
No, it
Yeah,
does.
I do.
It does.
I didn't think that then. I
Before,
truthfully did, but
before I
now
realized
see
that
what
that
your
was
point.
actually the cannon, I thought it was like an engine so that the fucking planet
Right.
could travel.
That's what
which
I
would have been
thought it
fucking
was.
awesome. You know, but
Listen, it could have doubled, like, honestly.
sure.
But here's the other thing that just, like, okay, now granted, I understand you're supposed to suspend your disbelief in movies to a certain extent.
Yes, of course.
But you have to build it in a realm of reality in some way, and you need to have physics in some way. If you're destroying a star, so this way you can fire your weapon,
It's illogical.
yeah.
If you go with, if you not to cross the streams, if we're going with Star Trek, it's not logical, right?
No.
It's not logical for us to
Are we
actually
allowed to do that? Are we
Yeah, I
allowed
don't
to
know.
mix Star Trek with Star Wars?
No, Star Wars.
But
Both Star
just
Wars
move away
and
for
Star
when the
Trek
lightning
fans will
strikes,
hate us.
They're gonna get her.
Fans on both sides of this equation will hate us.
Well, hate me.
Just
It's
send
okay.
all of your
I am,
let's
I
do
am,
it. Go
I,
through
I,
say.
I am equal Trekkie and Wars person. I'm sorry, I am. But if we were to go with Spock's logical aspect, that it would not make sense to take the light from a sun, because then the planet would lose its orbitational
Right,
But it stands to
but-
reason
but
that if that's
in-
a mechanical
But the problem,
planet,
see, the thing is,
that it can do whatever the fuck it pleases.
That's
Right.
okay. Look, that's
But then
not
it should look like Cybertron.
Wait.
It shouldn't have trees and snow and everything else.
I'll be honest with you. That's not one of the things that bothered me. That's one of the things that bothered Rich. The thing that bothered me most is that I thought it was really bad character development. No character had a major arc. I hated Finn. I did not like him at all. There's no character arc
I've
at all.
said it before and I'll say it again. Somebody get Homeboy an inhaler. He's out of breath in every scene. Every scene. He's even out of breath before he takes the helmet off.
Yes.
And what made
I
him all of a
didn't-
sudden have his revelation that,
Yeah.
oh,
He
hey.
was shooting innocent people.
he was shooting innocent people.
Okay,
But I have.
Wait,
Here's my
wait,
problem
wait,
that you
wait,
haven't
wait,
mentioned,
wait.
actually.
See, the thing
I
is
have
that
an
they,
issue.
the thing is that they never have gone into exactly how. I mean, unless I'm missing something in books that I haven't read, which Disney when they
matter because
doesn't
not
matter
all
because
canon
it's
anyway.
likely not
Yeah,
canon
yeah, it's
anyway
not
because
canon.
Disney was able to decide which was, which wasn't. Okay, neither here nor there. The point is that in the films they never go into how they indoctrinate their stormtroopers.
Right.
They say Finn says that they're abducted at birth.
Right, it's kind of
They give it serial numbers. Yeah, they go on the Halo route. They give it serial numbers. They're indoctrinated. You don't know about the process, and you don't know why the process has failed.
Right. But
Because
the
this
point
is
is,
the
is
only-
like how
the only time it's happened.
We're all ignoring one major aspect for me. Like, if you're gonna complain about stuff, because I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. But
Sure.
Okay, wait.
I wanna raise-
Hold on,
wait,
let him finish. Let him
Okay.
finish.
So, what do? I'm in sanitation. What are you doing in a battle, sir? You're a garbage man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you holding a blaster and killing people? The
At the
Empire
beginning of the
doesn't look
movie.
like it's short of fucking soldiers. You're a garbage man. What are you doing on the battlefield?
No.
I get why you don't want to kill people. You're a sanitation man.
Look, and I
And
don't
there's no fucking dishonor in being a sanitation
But
man.
if he's a sanitation man, then why is he wearing a
Okay,
stormtrooper's outfit?
wait.
Well, maybe they all get
no, but they're all
stormtrooper
stormtroopers.
outfits.
Don't worry about that. What? Okay, I want to.
What
I
about
do.
the men on the
wait,
on the ship with the black?
Stop for a second.
Those are all Matthews.
Stop.
I don't know. They all look like Matthew.
Stop for a second. I want.
Snell.
Yes, I actually want to know because I will be honest with everybody. My dad, who's a huge avid Star Wars fan, he saw it when it first came out years ago. Rich, we're all kind of when we walked out. To a point where I was actually really depressed today. I wore all black today on purpose. Like,
So it was not for the death of Han?
no, I was just depressed. Like, genuinely. Like, I was devastated this morning. You can
The more Trish and I kept talking about it, the more we kept bringing up points, the more we were realizing that there was problems left and right in that movie.
Okay, so let me finish. But what I want to know is, what did you guys love about it so much? Because maybe that will change my perspective. Because I need something. I will be honest with you. I need something. Because I am actually very upset.
Well, okay, the one character that I could follow and that actually had some semblance of a major story arc was Rey. Because,
who is quite clearly Luke's daughter.
You know what the thing is? I think because everybody believes that, and there's so many clues that point it to her being Luke's daughter, it's exactly the reason why she probably won't be.
It pointed toward her being Leia and Han's other daughter.
Possibly.
Hold on, I'm gonna say something too with her.
I don't think she's. I think if she's anybody's daughter, and I don't know.
It should be Luke's because of her power level.
Well, hold on.
No, it's not even that. It has to do with the flashback sequence.
Yeah.
Because if you watch the flashback sequence in the film, by that point, Kylo Ren is already a Sith, or
New Order.
A New Order, right?
First Order.
First Order. Lackey, right? So First Order lackey. So, and he's like almost an adult at that point. So
Right.
if she is Han and Leia's actual other child, that makes no sense contextually with the age gap.
Right.
Yeah,
So
because at the time that he becomes a Sith Lord, Han and Leia split up.
Right, exactly. So they're already split. So there's no logical reason why she would be a young child at that point. If she is a Skywalker, right? She's Luke's child.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
She has to
And
be.
let me add in something that I kind of noticed. I don't know if you guys picked up on this too. Was at the end battle when she was fighting Kylo with the lightsaber.
Yeah.
Did you notice what she started to use to try to win? She used the anger.
Yeah. And then she
Now-
realized it wasn't working, and then as soon as he mentioned that he could teach her to use the Force, she actually
Calm down.
she realized
No,
the
she
Force
didn't.
and then calmed down.
No, she didn't. She actually almost beat him to death after that sequence. With
Yeah,
the
but
sword.
she did so in a very calm
No,
and,
she
and
didn't. She
disarming-
actually.
She was angry.
She was angry.
She was angry.
She was angry in that sequence.
Now,
She actually used the dark side in
But
that sequence.
here's my point. Let me get to my point.
Which makes sense because she is not
She's not
skilled.
trained.
She's
Yeah,
not trained.
She's not skilled yet.
But here's my question, and here's what I'm wondering is what's going to happen. Are Kylo and Rey going to switch?
I think that might be too complicated.
I know, but if you notice, they kept going out of their way to point out that Kylo had light in him,
and was conflicted.
And they're showing her already using her anger to win a battle. So my question is, will they switch?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that might complicate matters for the casual fan, and I think that might be too much of a switch where we've already established that Rey is clearly the good guy who will be the Jedi in the future, and Kylo Ren or Ben Solo will complete his training under this new Dark Lord Snoke.
Andy
Yeah.
Serkis.
Yeah,
I was going to say E.T.
No, actually,
He looks like
Gollum.
E.T.'s
Yeah, he
fucking, kind of perverted uncle Herman. Like, I don't know if
E.T.
E.T. has an Uncle Herman,
he
but
looks
if he
like
did,
it's a hybrid of he's looks like a
on
hybrid
HGH.
of everything. It's almost like Snoke was animated by Weta, because I saw before I realized it was Andy Serkis who was doing his voice. I'm like, this is too reminiscent of Lord of the Rings, which I was okay with because it was really a hologram you saw. You don't see him in the flesh,
Right.
No.
Just like Darth Sidious in Episode 1.
Right, exactly.
But we all knew who that was, too.
Technically, episode 2.
Was it only 2?
No, not 2. Actually,
No,
now
he
we're-
was in all throughout episode 1, but no,
doesn't show up in
in
episode
Empire Strikes
New Hope?
Back.
He
At
doesn't.
all?
Empire Strikes Back is when you're introduced to the Emperor in the
Yes.
first place, and he was
I thought
played
it
by
was
a totally different person.
Yes.
And you only
Right.
see him in the single hologram
Yes.
Right.
broadcast that Vader has with him. That's it.
But
Yes.
you asked what we enjoyed about the movie, and
Yes.
Yes.
let me tell you what I enjoyed. I really did like how Kylo Ren was just such a fucking spoiled brat in the movie. And you're right, it was absolutely reminiscent of Anakin when he first kind of was
When he
turning
started
to
down
the
his
dark
path.
side.
Yeah.
But he wants to be Darth Vader so badly, but he's not even fit to lick Darth Vader's boots at this point. He's such a petulant brat that he cannot possibly have the level of control that his grandfather does, even though he wants to so badly. I really enjoyed his character development in that respect.
Okay,
And I'm also
here's what
curious to
BB-8
find out
was
why
just
he felt, how he came to feel that way about Darth Vader. Because obviously, at some
There's
point,
a
Luke
lot
told
of mystery
him,
in the characters that is at this point set up.
Right.
But
We
is
don't
not
know
revealed.
what happened with Luke and
Right,
Kylo.
but
Right.
We don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Why? Obviously, we know. Luke stranded his daughter on this planet to protect her from her
From
cousin,
Kylo's-
which
from
is
Kylo's wrath.
incredibly reminiscent of what they did with Leia and Luke
To split them
in
up.
New Hope. Sure, it's absolutely a rehashing of the original story. I know that, and I accept that more because I enjoyed A New Hope and the originals immensely.
I
So
know, but my
don't fuck
point-
with what works.
Okay, but
don't give me the
don't give
same
me the same
story.
stuff, because then we're supposed to be evolving, right? We're not supposed to be derivative and falling back, right? It's just it insults the audience. It insults the audience. It does.
I'd rather watch that. I'd rather watch the same thing with new characters again than have to deal with something that is completely new and sucks balls.
Did you watch Predators?
I don't know.
That's the one with Adrian Brody.
Yes, I did.
Did you like it?
Yeah,
That was a rehash of Predator.
I know.
But that
It's
was.
okay, sure.
But my point is.
I think I like that one better than the last Alien versus Predator.
Alien vs. Predator is terrible.
But there was
but-
two of those.
Yeah, I don't know why, but that's a whole nother.
Because it made
conversation.
money.
Yeah, but the point is, it's like, look, rather than tote this as a brand new story, you want to give us a rehash, fine, tell us you're giving us a rehash. Don't.
Well, and
But at the same time,
I think
does it-
they
how does it
did that.
feel-
They did that without coming right out and saying it by bringing back the original cast. I mean, they had to at some point because everybody was so fed up with the prequels. But as a passing of the torch to this new cast of characters, which I could care less about Finn, along with the rest of you, but I
Or
like.
Poe. I didn't care for Poe either.
I actually
Sure,
did.
I
I
didn't
actually
either.
kind of like. I kind of like Poe, although I would have preferred maybe the descendant of Wedge Antilles or something like that, which would have been cool or whatever. But there's at least room there to do some character development for Poe. Finn, they've kind of already hit the ceiling with because he's just a stormtrooper.
But what if, without the accidental, let's just call it accidental rehash of A New Hope, and what if it was more on purpose of history repeats itself until you learn from your mistakes kind of thing? How do you feel about that?
To me, it's too
Well-
deliberate. It's too much.
But that's the whole point of
same-
the mythos behind the Force, and
No, it's not.
and it being balanced.
No,
but
it's not.
But the thing is, though, is
The
that
whole
it's
point
been
of the
cyclical
Force-
for
wait,
thousands and
no.
thousands of years.
No, the whole point of the Force is balance.
But that doesn't mean that you're going to repeat the same
Yeah.
same events again and again. Of here's this girl abandoned on a desert planet. Why did she have to be on a desert planet?
Right.
Why do you have to have it where literally, like Trish was just saying, the opening sequence is
It's
verbatim A New Hope? Why do we have to have it where at the end
Look,
when
I'm not
Han
saying that. I'm not
dies,
saying that a rebel
he dies
couldn't.
in the
Look,
same exact location,
Yeah.
pretty much visually, as Vader's and Luke's battle in Empire Strikes Back.
It's too
complete
it's
with his body falling off
the side. It's so derivative. It's disgusting.
The trench, the fact that when they were going to the rebel ships, I know it's not called the Rebels, the Alliance, or whatever they're called now. They're going in and they're going into a trench battle. They fly down a trench to be able to blow up the new Death Star, or the Death Planet, whatever you want to call it now. And it's one of those things where I'm just
this is my argument. So in the prequels, right, the story construct was actually different, right, which was good, right, because we have different, the way the episodes open, the way they close is very different than the original 3, right. But the problem is the characters are not strong. They're very poor. They're not well executed.
The strongest character out of the entire series of the prequels was Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Right.
and that's
Correct.
it.
Right.
And that's why he's my favorite character in the entire mythos.
And how much of that also, I want to say, was Ewan McGregor.
Oh, it's
Right.
totally Ewan McGregor because
Right.
he was phenomenal.
Right.
He was
Right.
great in that role. He was perfect for the role, actually. You know, and and actually in that respect, I've also thought Liam Neeson was a badass as Qui-Gon Jinn, and it totally disappointed me that they had to kill him off at the end.
And Darth Maul.
So
Right.
here's my question: being that Pete and I clearly liked it more than you guys did, what would you say would be, pick out some positive aspects of this movie?
She asked us to do that.
I know, that's why I'm returning the favor.
No, you know, it was one scene that I thought we both were talking about was really funny, and we both kind of liked. When Rey and Finn were running away from the TIE fighters when they were blowing up on
she's
the
like, and
planet.
she's like those are
What about that ship?
No, but that's
that ship is garbage.
Right.
It can't fly. Here, what about the ship? Boom, it gets
and she's
blown
like,
up.
the garbage will do.
Garbage will do, and then all
That's
of
the
a sudden it's
Millennium
the
Falcon.
Falcon.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's the heart that's missing from a lot of the movie. But I love those moments. That you had a lot of those moments between Ren.
There were a few of those moments.
Ren had a couple of those moments, right? Whenever Ren was in the scene, we
Right.
had those. When we had Han and Chewie, we had a little bit of it, which was great, right? You know, a lot of the original cast. I mean, although Luke was a cameo, really, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. At the end.
But
We'll get to that in a moment.
But anyway, but those moments were my favorite.
Sure.
You know, like those like when
they're on
the
ship, the ship
they're
and
shipping and she's like
working with
going back
Han.
and forth
Yeah.
with him. Like those were
And-
my favorite.
And
you know,
that
like,
actually
if you
goes
ask
along
me-
with what we were talking about with a lot of foreshadowing is that she was already doing was already doing
she's stepping into
Han's
Han's role.
job. Right, she was doing Han's job for him, and I thought it was actually in a larger aspect the movie I believe was built to pass the torch. Okay,
Right.
That's why they rehash it.
Well, there is
in
some
my
credence too. I mean, Harrison Ford wanted Han Solo to die at the end of Empire Strikes Back, of Return of the Jedi.
Right.
So
right.
it kind of stands to reason like he would be all for the death of the character now.
Right.
So it's not even
Yeah.
so much
No,
like
no,
he's
no, no.
old and you can't trust
Look,
him to be around for the next two movies.
Look. I'm not. I don't want anybody to think that I don't think one of the primary old characters should die. I do think they should die because honestly, the torch needs to be passed. I agree with that, but I think it needs to be done in a stronger way.
Mm-hmm.
And you're passing the torch to a new trio of characters with one only really being the strongest,
And that's right.
and that's right, and that's not good
And
in my
actually,
opinion.
let me
Right.
pose a question also. And how did Rey beat Kylo? And don't give me the bullshit that he got shot.
No, I'm not telling
No,
you
no.
he got shot. I
Well,
didn't think that at all.
it was
the
a-
fact
it
that
was a
she's
factor?
Luke Skywalker's daughter makes her automatically more powerful than he is. The fact that
the
he
fir-
is
this is the
such a
first
fucking
time-
petulant brat that he can't control his emotions, she already untrained has more power than he does.
But this
Right.
is the first time
with
she's
training.
picked up a
wait,
lightsaber.
wait.
Doesn't matter.
No,
The
but it
fact
does
that-
matter because if you go with
He's been trained by Luke.
But not even that. If we're going with canon, right? If we're gonna stick with canon, which is not books, right?
Right.
What happens with Luke when he first picks up a lightsaber? He doesn't know what the fuck he's
He
doing.
aims it at his face.
Right. Okay.
And he gets his hand chopped off
He
by
has,
Vader.
he has no idea what he's doing, right? He's got the ball and he's getting hit, right? He's got he's practicing and he's getting hit with the little laser beams
Sure.
back, right? So he has no fucking clue what he's doing, right? How the hell? Now, look, if Kylo Ren was no wait, let me just finish. If Kylo Ren was a newbie, right? To the Sith Lord, but we know from her flashback that he's been a Sith Lord or whatever you want to call it
For quite some time.
For quite some time. So, and he
But
in the beginning-
wait. Let me finish. Okay, he stops a laser blast.
That was fucking
Okay.
badass.
By the way,
Okay,
I
it
did
was
like
okay.
that.
Wait,
I
wait.
did like
no,
that.
and I
The
won't
use
wait.
of the Force in this movie
No, shut
was
up.
exceptional.
Shut up. No, it's not.
That was quite
No, it
exceptional.
wasn't. No,
Yes,
it wasn't. Let me finish.
Totes.
Shut up. Okay. So, anyway, listen. So he stops the laser beam, right? Which is cool. But then why the fuck can't he beat a little girl? And second, to go with your force thing, why the fuck didn't he use the force in the lightsaber battle, which is the first time a battle between lightsabers, nobody used the force to push or pull anything.
Because she already resisted him to the point of why the fuck can't I fight her with
that's
it?
bullshit, because he could have knocked over from fucking trees in front of her face.
Think about what Vader did in Empire Strikes Back. He was just like,
And he knocks
yoink,
shit.
and he's just throwing shit at Luke.
I mean, Darth Maul fucking does it in the Phantom Menace, for Christ's sake.
Where he's trying to get out, and he just kind of.
The only time he did that was the whatever the box was, just to point it and then open up the
he
blast.
He
knocked-
force pushed. He force pushed.
Okay,
No, he force
well,
pushed
I
him.
actually have a good answer to that.
But he
I
actually
do.
he actually staggered
Vader-
Obi-Wan before he force pushed him.
Vader, we've already discussed in this episode, has more control over the Force and over his emotions than anything else. Kylo Ren clearly does not.
Mm-hmm.
So when he is faced with an opponent that is actually
getting a lot of
his
hearts right
match...
I don't know who it is.
What?
We're getting a lot of hearts right now. I don't know who it is.
When Kylo Ren is faced with an opponent that is clearly a match for him, which he has never experienced before, he has no idea how to fight them. So he's not actually thinking clearly. What is it that Gotetsu said to Goken and Akuma? Was anger is a weapon only to your opponent.
Of course you would like it
He
in a
is
Street Fighter.
absolutely out of control. He's not. If he were thinking clearly, if he weren't a slave to his emotions, he would be using the Force in a actually
wait a minute.
combative manner of throwing trees and everything else at
I'm
her. But he
gonna say-
can't
okay.
think of that. All he can think of is, this bitch is fucking better than me. I want to kill her, and I'm
Wait.
just gonna fucking stare at her goddamn lightsaber.
Wait, okay, I'm gonna say something. And this is, now I'm getting technical. Okay, I'll get technical for a half second. Forgive me, guys. Okay, so there's this rule in screenwriting. Well, thank you. There's a rule in screenwriting. Convenience to get yourself into trouble, okay. Convenience to get yourself out of trouble, bad. For example, all of a sudden, Finn's just gonna rescue somebody from... He's a stormtrooper. He's been pre-programmed since childhood. And all of a sudden he decides, oh, I want to be a good person because it's the right thing to do. That's the exact fucking line, people. The right thing to do. How the hell does he know what the right thing to do is when he's been programmed since a child and all of a sudden he decides out of left field, I'm going to rescue this guy and take him off the ship?
I don't know. Sometimes it happens that way.
It's fucking bullshit.
Convenient.
It's convenient. It's too
What
fucking
would have been
convenient.
more convenient is if he would have somehow beat Kylo Ren in the lightsaber battle.
No, that's true.
That did not happen.
But then they both, those two situations would be too convenient. There's too much convenience.
And he was too good with the lightsaber,
there's-
too.
okay,
For somebody
and-
who could barely
He looked
understand
like
how to
shit
use
with it.
No, okay, he did. But
Finn? No.
wait,
Yeah.
no, wait, and there's too much exposition in
And
this
that's why he got
movie.
fucked up by him.
Every fucking like when Kylo Ren actually like and he was going to attack him, he's like, "Use your words, use your words."
Okay.
I mean,
But
the
wait.
the thing that bothered me was, and this might be a Disney thing, and if it proves to be a Disney thing, I will be upset. But a refusal to kill anybody aside from Han with the lightsaber.
Nah, it's gonna happen.
Because no,
In an
but because the
episode,
thing
too.
is that Kylo Ren had complete control over his battle with Finn and should have killed him,
Well,
and yet
then
he's
there was
still
Rey.
alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is that Rey didn't exactly step in because she was already knocked out when
Yeah.
he force pushed her against the tree to knock her out.
Exactly.
So, that's the only problem I have with it, is that he's not, unless he has some type of natural ability with the Force that we don't know about.
Nah, he's a hammerhead.
Here's another question I have.
Wait. Let me just say one thing. The last thing I wanted to say is there's too much exposition in this movie. For example, the movie open.
Word.
It is a big word. I'm sorry. It's a dollar word, right? Okay. So there's too much exposition in this movie, and I always quote Incredibles from the animated movie, because it's like, oh, you got me monologuing again, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, for example, in the opening sequence, we open with Max von Sydow, right? Who's amazing, by the way. I'm sorry, Max von.
Ming. Ming the Merciless.
Ming the Merciless.
Was
Also,
the same guy at the beginning of the
movie.
old guy at the beginning of the movie.
shit.
That's Ming
Who
the
gave Poe
Merciless.
the map.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's
So
Max
we're
von
led to believe that he's some type of.
important person.
Was he like somebody in Star Wars mythos, or he was
No.
just like he's fucking?
He was just
Ming the
randomly thrown in
Merciless?
there.
Yeah.
It's just making that. Well, I mean,
It's
I
just
don't
Ming
know.
the Merciless.
Right.
That's so awesome.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's also the priest from The Exorcist, by the way.
Yep.
I don't care about that.
It's a horror movie. You love horror movies. Okay, fine, whatever. So anyway, so it opens with exposition between him, right, between
Poe.
and Poe. It opens with exposition, right? Then, hugely problematic for me. Okay, hugely problematic for me is that the whole situation between Han and Leia. They discuss their relationship that apparently has been really traumatic in this very 2-minute conversation where it's like, oh, I forgive you. We've been separated for years, but I forgive you.
You should have kissed the girl, seriously.
I mean, that.
I know she's been on cocaine since 1984, but
no. She's just been drunk since 1984. Get it right.
She did a lot of drugs
and been on Family Guy for a couple of seasons too.
So,
all right. Well, let me pose my question.
Okay.
Who's the controlling power in this universe?
Apparently it's Snoke, but we don't know exactly how much reach he has.
At this point, I think it's half Rebels and half the First Order, which has arisen from the Empire.
This is the one question. This is the one question where I understand why you're posing it, and I agree with you because there is no overarching. There is no. I mean, they describe it in the introduction to the film that the New Republic is in power,
right?
But you don't. You never see any of that.
But you see them die.
Hold on. It feels more like it's still the First Order is the controlling power because that's who we keep seeing.
Right.
And when we see the Alliance, we see them as once again this kind of underground. Right. They're like this guerrilla army that just kind of is hiding on this planet, and it's like.
Well, it seems like the Resistance is almost like the New Republic's Black Ops team, but because they kind of said that on their own, if the New Republic fleet were to be disabled or destroyed in some way, that they'd be on their own and they'd be fucked. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like they because. I guess we're led to believe, possibly from some of the books that have came afterwards, where Leia becomes a founding member, along with a couple of the leaders of the Alliance, to reform the Senate for the New Republic. Mm-hmm. That they make her a general, and then they give her the control of this let's just call it a Black Ops team, for lack of a better term, and so that's kind of what it is. But again, that. Part of the story could have been fleshed out a lot better. I don't know. I mean, look, I still enjoyed it thoroughly. I mean, I acknowledge a lot of the plot holes, but it's just the way I view the movie as being a passing of the torch.
Was Captain Phasma just getting a gun to her head and shut down the shields? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Now
you could have put up a fight, bitch.
The Chrome Trooper was supposed to be this big badass. And like you said, it was just kind of lower the shields. Okay.
Yeah, they bitched her out worse than Baron Strucker.
They really did. Too. That's a shame.
Yeah.
I hope she returns in part 2. I hope, and I've been called crazy for this, I want Boba Fett back.
Supposedly he's coming back.
He needs to, because of all the things, truth be told, that, Disney has expelled all of the canon from, the comic books and the books and everything else.
Wait a minute, he went down the Sarlacc pit.
Right. And in the books, or in the comic books, whatever, he escaped the Sarlacc
symbols
with ridiculous scarring and everything.
No, it's true, but they are not going with the book.
But
we don't know that yet.
Yeah.
Boba Fett is such a popular and ridiculously amazing character that I think they would be foolish to
not bring him back.
Right. To not bring him back would almost be like a sales and marketing fucking failure.
Yeah.
The amount, the figures, the statues, everything that they could make off of that character. But by the same token,
they're already making a killing on all the merchandise for the character. There's no reason
so
to bring him back.
let's add another one. Let's bring him back and make him even cooler that he escaped certain death. Even now
or he blew up the Sarlacc pit.
However you want to have him escape, and the fact that Kraven the Hunter fucking suddenly finds out that Spider-Man's dead, and he's like, holy shit, they killed Han? That was my fucking mark.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck you up for that. So now you've got a whole other enemy.
Like a rogue.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of thing.
Right.
it opens up a world of possibilities. So guys, let
Jason
us know.
Hagopian 24 says I'm loving my graveyard shift tonight.
Jason, we love the fact that you're watching, man.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Let us know what you thought of Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Who the fuck is Emperor Snoke, Supreme
Wait,
Leader
wait a minute.
Snoke?
You asked me, so I'm going to
Yes.
ask you. You asked me what I liked about the movie.
I did.
What did you dislike about the movie since you liked it so much?
I didn't like the fact that I felt, what's her name? Captain Phasma kind of got bitched out.
Okay.
I did not like the fact that the planet at the end blew up. I thought that they should have just disabled the weapon and still had the planet, because something like that is going to take a while to build. So the idea of them
And-
building, let's say, another super weapon for the next
In
couple of
2
movies
years.
is difficult.
I had something, but go ahead.
Did you see that? Did you see that? and I'm in charge now, Captain. That's right, I'm in charge now, Captain. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was a bit much for me.
Yeah.
He was cool otherwise.
Kid, don't get cocky.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, Han was absolutely the fucking coolest
Yeah.
of them all. I really liked the whole juxtaposition of, like, as soon as the motherfucker walked out on the walkway, I'm like, damn.
You're dead.
Because the walkways
Yeah.
mean death in Star
Yes.
Wars, let's face that.
And the other thing was, when all of a sudden the doors opened up and you saw Rey and Finn just come walking in, you're like, yeah, you're done.
Nah, totally.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to tell you.
When he was
that
like,
the
I'm
thing.
torn between what way to go, I was like, he's gonna kill him.
Yep.
Damn.
By the way, that's what got spoiled for me.
That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should
Somebody-
punch that person in the face.
That's what I posted.
He
I
needs
was like,
that guy needs to get kicked in the shins
Yep.
multiple
Yeah.
times.
I will. Okay,
Wednesday
wait,
morning,
wait.
he posted
wait.
that fact that Han Solo fucking dies, and I was like, I fucking avoided every single goddamn like trailer. And
How did he
everything.
find that out? Because that has not leaked anywhere.
I don't
that
know, but he
saw.
had the picture of it.
Damn.
He had the picture of him.
No, and
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
and I will say this.
By the way, I did unfriend the guy.
Okay, I firmly stand behind this. I would genuinely love, and I'll even maybe post something in the next day or two myself on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. I would genuinely love to hear what everybody's genuine perspective is of the film, because as we've pointed out here, this is a spoiler session, right? I really hope nobody who's seen who hasn't seen the film has watched this. But
I mean, honestly, if you've been watching this by accident, by fucking
Right,
now,
I
40
know.
minutes in,
Okay.
it's your own goddamn fault.
It is your own goddamn fault. But my point is I actually love to hear what people's genuine perspectives of the film, because I would just want to know what you loved about it as a person, because I'm not happy with it. I stated my reasons why, but I just want to see I would love to be able to somebody give me a clearer sense of wonder that I'm looking for.
And the other thing I would even say is, it's like, look, this is a discussion. It's not an argument.
Sure.
It's not like I'm sitting here being like, no, you guys are wrong,
Right.
or
Right.
Trish is sitting there saying that. It's kind of like, all right, well, these are the reasons why I didn't like it, and these are the reasons why you guys liked it.
Right.
And it's kind of like, both of us.
And a
all
lot of
making
it we
good
do find
points.
common ground on.
Yeah.
So we want to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
You know the drill by now. Questions at PeachBasement.com, Facebook.com/PeachBasement. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter for up-to-the-minute reviews and news and all sorts of rumors and posts. But specifically, if you want to comment on this one, we'll all be paying attention to the YouTube extras comments. So go on YouTube, like the video, dislike it if you want to punch in the face, and fucking comment underneath it, and let's see what we have to say, and hopefully we can get a nice discussion going there, because you're able to reply to comments on YouTube and everything.
When are you seeing it again?
I would like to actually take my folks to see it. I'm hoping for sometime next weekend. I'm gonna give it a rest now, and let people go, let them
marinate.
enjoy it and everything. I'm dying to see what this movie does over the course of the weekend, how much
Yeah.
it possibly makes,
Yeah.
because it's gonna set a record.
What about you? When are you?
Well, actually, Alyssa and I have to work that out because I promised I'd take her.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, just to give you guys an idea, I pre-ordered tickets for my screening last night in October.
And you're going again
I'm going
tomorrow,
again
which
We're
is
going
Saturday.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
actually was so excited about this. Like, genuinely. I was.
It's okay. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you guys next year. Peach Basement,
Have a
fucking
happy New
season
Year.
9,
Happy New
26.
Year.
Happy New Year, Merry Christmas,
Happy New
Hanukkah,
Year.
all the
Kwanzaa.
stuff.
I got a little bit of whiskey left, and here, this is to you.
Pete's Basement is copyright 2015, Ripped Productions and Pete's Basement LLC. All rights reserved, so go fuck yourself.
Okay, Periscope is live.
We're
are
live
recording.
down here.
We're live down here.
Yeah.
Recording audio. Hit record on the video. Okay, awesome.
She's good.
She's very good.
Do we need to clap in?
Yeah, we're gonna clap
Do we
in.
do 2 claps?
Well,
2 claps?
do you want to do 2 claps?
Yes.
I know you like to clap.
I clap. I love the clap.
Can I clap?
We can get 3 claps.
We have to. I have to clap because it's like an OCD thing, but you can clap with me.
Look, we can't all do big arms.
We can't all do
Listen,
big arm things.
listen, all
How
just
about
say
I do big arm thing
and
and
everybody
you
says
all
they're
be like,
making
whoa,
looking
he's doing big arm
look,
things.
he's doing big arms.
All right, ready? Let's just try to do it in sequence.
1, 2, 3. That was not 3.
I always have to go
Wait,
first.
are we going on 3 or after 3?
Shut up. Just go.
Jesus.
You guys are retards.
Yes, we are.
You're figuring this out now?